Hey, what's up, guys? This is the Shining Jolteon, and you may have caught a few of my Let's Play videos on my other channel, Dragonborn Rito. I decided to start a Pokemon-specific channel off to the side, just to do whatever. It's not going to be just Let's Plays, anything like that. It's just going to be anything I can think of that's got to do with Pokemon. I'm a big Pokemon fan. I owe a lot to the series. It's been a big part of my life since I was a little boy, so I've been playing the series for a long time. And I decided to go ahead and start my my channel here with a Let's Play of Pokemon trading card game. I'm starting to get back into the game on Pokemon Trading Card Game Online, but it's really hard to build a competitive deck on there. I mean, really hard. You gotta do a massive amount of collecting, and right now I just can't afford it. Here and there I might be able to get a 10 or something and get 5 booster packs, but more than likely it's just gonna be a here and there. I get a few new cards. But this game, I know how to play fairly competitively. This is just the first 3 sets of Pokemon. It came out on the Game Boy way back in the day, and I spent as much time on this probably as I did on some of the regular Pokemon games. It was a very faithful recreation of the Pokemon trading card game at the time. You had almost every single card from the first 3 sets, so it was really good. And it's also fun to go back and play and remember what Pokemon was like before A-Specs, EX, shiny Pokemon, level X's, all those things that have made the game kind of almost not fun to play anymore if you don't have those cards. But this was just old school, get the bigger Pokemon out, beat them for damage. So it's fun to go back and play. So what we've been doing so far is, this is just the opening. It'll give a tutorial to people who don't know what's going on in the Pokemon trading card game, like if you didn't know the rules. You could ask him all those questions and he'll give you a text explanation, but eventually you'll get into the real meat of a tutorial, and this is probably the best thing for players at the time who didn't know how to play the game. You go up against Tech Sam and against his Sam's practice deck. Now, normally you shuffle your decks before a game starts, but this is practice. They've pretty much got the cards laid out exactly how they want the game to go. And Dr. Mason, the guy that you were talking to at the beginning with the glasses, explains that you draw 7 cards and you get ready to play the game. So first off, you choose your active Pokemon. He tells you can only choose basic Pokemon as your active Pokemon, so you can choose either Golding or Starry. Basic Pokemon are going to be the ones with the diamonds, the little green diamonds. Those are basic Pokemon. You can always check them by pressing A, and then instead of going to play, you go to check. It'll bring up a rough draft of what the card should look like in real life. It's definitely not a graphical recreation of the card, but it tells you everything you need to know. 1 water energy gets you a Horn Attack. It's a common. It's from Jungle. It's got 40 HP, level 12. And like I said, that green diamond tells you that it's basic. This arrow with a 1 tells you that it's a stage 1 evolution, and Starry is also a basic. The T stands for trainer, and then those are just the energy symbols, so you know exactly what those are. So we go ahead and choose Golding to be our active Pokemon. Then we can choose up to 5 Pokemon to place on the bench. So we can put any of the Pokemon in our hand onto the bench before we begin the game. Basic Pokemon, that is. So we can go ahead and place Staryu down onto the bench before the game starts. Now that we don't have anything We go ahead and just press the B button to cancel out, and we get to set up, place the prizes. Normally a Pokemon game takes place with 6 prizes. A lot of the battles in this game take place with 3 or 4. 6 is usually only when you're battling your rival, the club leaders, which are kind of like the gym leaders this game, and the Elite Four of this game. Those are mainly the only ones you're going to be going for 6. So actually aggro decks against a lot of the weaker players are good because you can end games a lot quicker before they can stabilize. So we go first and we get to draw a card. Dr. Mason will walk you through a turn in case you've never played the game before. You choose hand from the menu to look at your hand and select a water energy card. Then you attach a water energy card to your Goldeen, which is your active Pokemon. Once it has a water energy, you can then use this attack, Horn Attack. So we go, like he said, go to hand. Then we go to a water energy, press play, and then attach it to, we could attach it to Staryu, but we want to attach it to Goldeen. If we don't attach it to Goldeen, then he'll actually make us play the turn over. You gotta play it exactly how he tells you to, so. Press A, attack with Horn Attack. Horn Attack deals 10 damage to Machop. Place 1 energy, not 1 energy, 1 damage counter. And you can see the damage counter represented by the circles. He has a black one, so that tells you that he has 1 damage counter. We have 2 black ones now, so we have 2 damage counters, meaning we took 20 damage from the last attack. That would be Machop's Chop. Alright, let's start our turn, and we draw our card, and it's another water energy. Goldeen's gonna get knocked out, so let's evolve it. Choose Seeking from your hand and attach it to Goldeen to evolve it. Its HP increases from 40 to 70. Now, one thing he didn't explain is that Pokemon can't evolve on the first turn or the turn that they go into play. On your very first turn, you cannot evolve, period. So, he failed to mention that. I thought I'd point that out to newer players who had never played the game before. The reason why we didn't go ahead and evolve last turn was because it was our first turn. If we had just played a Goldeen this turn, we couldn't evolve that either. A Pokemon has to be in play for 1 turn before it can evolve, and an evolved Pokemon can't evolve again until another turn goes by. So we go ahead and choose Seeking, place him on to our Goldeen, and it evolves it into Seeking. And like he said, we attach our Psychic Energy to Seeking. Now why a Psychic and not another water? Well, we check our active Pokemon. You see that his Waterfall attack has a cost of 1 water and 1 colorless. The star represents colorless energy, meaning it can be paid for with any type of energy. It doesn't have to be a water, it can be psychic, fighting, fire, electric, grass, whatever. So, now we have enough energy, we can use Waterfall. Waterfall will deal 30 damage. I wonder if you guys can hear that thunder through the headphones. And now he's got 10 HP left. If he doesn't play a Pokemon, we win next turn, but he does play a Pokemon, and it's Rattata. No, not too worried about Rattata though, it's only got 30 HP and we can deal 30, right? So we'd win the next turn. So he goes ahead and uses the low kick again, dealing another 20 damage, putting us at 30 HP left. He's only got 10 HP, so we'll draw a card from our deck. Alright, we don't have to attach another energy to Seeking because he's already got enough energy to use both of his attacks. When that happens, typically you'll want to go ahead and prepare your bench Pokemon with their energies. So we'll go ahead and attach a water energy to Staryu as soon as Dr. Mason gets done talking. And then like he's saying, we'll attack Machop and get a prize. So we attach water energy to Staryu. And then we could use either attack here, we'll knock it out, since it only has 10 HP remaining. We'll go ahead and use Horn Attack. That'll deal 10 damage, and that knocks him out. When a Pokemon is knocked out, they're placed into the discard pile along with any cards that were attached to them, energies, trainers, whatever. Wow, that's some loud thunder. And when a Pokemon is knocked out, you are allowed to draw a prize card. Once all your prizes are drawn, you win the game. So we draw one of them, leaving only one to go. All we have to do is knock out another Pokemon and we won our first game. So Rattata evolves into Raticate, which means we just prolonged the game a little bit. Raticate attacks Seaking, and we have 10 HP left. Starting to get a little worried now. Okay, well, we drew another basic Pokemon, and Dr. Mason points out that if you ever run out of Pokemon in play, you lose the game, so it's always good to have extra basics on the bench. So he tells you to go ahead and put the Drowsy on the bench, and then attach a water energy to it. And then you attack with Waterfall from your Seaking. Basically, he's acknowledging that we're going to lose Seaking. So, he's not making an effort to save Seaking. We're not going to worry about saving it. Drowsy gets an energy, and then we attack with Waterfall. Alright, Raticate is taking 30 damage, and this turn we are going to get knocked out. He goes ahead and attaches another lightning energy to his Raticate, which will knock out our Seaking with Bite. Alright, he draws a prize, and now we have to choose a Pokemon to put into the arena. Since we had a Pokemon get knocked out, we have to choose one of the Pokemon on our bench to take its place. We are going to choose Staryu. Alright, and like he points out, you can always check the card by pressing select to check like that. But we're going to choose Staryu. Draw a card, then we get a potion. Staryu evolves into Starmie, he points out. Let's get Staryu ready to use Starmie's attack whenever it evolves. So let's go ahead and put another water energy, even though it only needs one to use its current attack. We're hoping that we draw into a Starmie, so we want to go ahead and prepare for when we do. When we play Starmie, he'll already have enough energy to use its attacks, so we'll go ahead and use Slap to deal the 20 damage to Raticate. And it'll be Sam's turn. Sam plays Machop, plays a fighting energy, and then wisely retreats his Raticate to the bench to play Machop. Now, he was able to retreat by paying the retreat cost of Raticate, which allowed him to switch out with Pokemon on his bench before his Raticate would have gotten knocked out, and we would have won the game. Instead, he plays a fresh Pokemon and goes ahead and hits us again. Well, we drew Seaking, so that's not going to help us much. And Mason's going to yap on about all that good junk. Now, he brings up a good point though. We've taken damage, we don't want to get knocked out here. So, we have a potion in hand, and potion nowadays heals 30 damage, but back in the day only healed 20. So, we'll play potion to heal the 20 damage that was dealt to him. Play another water energy to bring Staryu up to 3. That's how much Starmie needs to use both of its attacks. And then we'll use Slap to deal 20 damage to Machop. Alright, Sam draws his card, plays a fighting energy to Machop, preparing it to evolve into Machoke, and hits us with a Chop. Well, now we're in trouble. If we take one more hit, we lose the game. But, look at that! We drew Starmie. Yep, you finally drawn a Starmie card. Choose Starmie from your hand and use it to evolve Staryu. You've already attached enough energy to use Starfreeze. Attack your opponent with Starmie Starfreeze. Alright, so we do just like the good doctor says. Go ahead and evolve Staryu into Starmie. That increases his HP up to 60. And then we'll use Starfreeze. Now, Starfreeze has a special ability. Anytime you see off to the right hand side that X with the 4 dots, that means there's something going on with that attack. And you can find out what that is by pressing start. Star freeze, we'll press start on. And it says we'll do 20 damage and then flip a coin. If heads, the defending Pokemon is now paralyzed. So we'll go ahead and attack with Star Freeze. Sure enough, we flip a heads, which causes Machop to be paralyzed. Paralyzed Pokemon can't attack or treat on their next turn, so unless he has a switch or something to that effect, we win the game. Next turn we'll have enough damage to knock him out, and sure enough, Machop gets cured of paralysis between turns. We draw a card. And Dr. Mason says, finish the battle. Attack and kill him. And that's exactly what we'll do. We'll use Star Freeze to go ahead and deal that last little bit of damage. And that's the game. Alright, we drew our last prize, meaning we win. Good deal. Alright, and Dr. Mason goes on about how that's how you play Pokemon. So, the idea is you just want to knock out as many Pokemon as there are prizes to win. And he says you can always practice against Sam. You can either do a practice duel again the same way we just did it, or we could just play them outright for prizes. Which, that would be a booster pack full of energy cards. If you're hurting for energy cards, though. So, we go ahead and hand our cards over to Dr. Mason. Dr. Mason says, okay, I got some cards I can add to yours. Now, what kind of deck would you want? It's kind of like choosing your starter in the old Pokemon games. Charmander and Friends deck, Squirtle and Friends deck, and Bulbasaur and Friends deck. Each of these decks features the evolutionary line of whichever Pokemon is named after. Charmander and Friends is going to have, it's obviously going to be a part fire deck, and it's going to have Charizard. So, if you really love base set Charizard, pick Charmander and Friends. If you like Blastoise and other water types, choose Squirtle and Friends. If you're really into Venusaur's energy trans ability, choose Bulbasaur and Friends. Myself, I prefer Blastoise, so I'm going to go with a Squirtle and Friends deck. Okay, it gives you your Squirtle and Friends deck. Here are the remaining cards, and you receive the deck. You receive 30 extra cards to go along with it, so you can actually go ahead and change up your deck. Then he tells you about the different clubs. You go and collect all the different little emblems from the clubs and have fun. Well, I think that's going to do it for this time. We'll go ahead and save into the diary, which is how you save in this game. And next video, we'll go ahead and head over to one of the clubs and start taking out trainers with our new Squirtle and Friends deck. Alright guys, this is the Shining Jolteon signing off. See you next time.